Chaos, give me that music.
No!
Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of King Sejong Station, we have from Team Z's Celiumn. I liked it.
Aliens spawning in the lower right-hand corner here, representing Team 440 Gaming, is Game Time.
I gave you a small drum solo. I hope that's all right.
No, totally fine with that.
All right, yeah, it worked well. Hang on, the screen's gonna freeze because I have a message. Okay, I will figure that out. It said you need to turn up just the slightest bit, but I'll probably have to do that on my end.
Okay.
Which
I can turn myself up.
Well, turn down for what? I tried way too hard to work that in, but yeah, if you could turn yourself up, that would be preferable. Whoop. Yeah.
And I'm turned up.
Yeah, so it looks like mirror builds thus far. Maybe. Oh, it's just looks like maybe just hatch first versus pool first. Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, like the whole music intro thing, like totally threw me off. I don't know about you. Just like, oh yeah, we're playing Starcraft.
Yeah, forget.
Not improv music 101 or whatever.
I thought it was awesome. And yeah, I thought it went very well. I mean, we're never gonna do it again ever, but
I
mean,
at least it will be captured on the VODs forever, or for all of eternity.
It will be eternalized. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Very much a fan.
So yeah, pretty stock ZVZ so far. Nothing too scary coming out. Doesn't look like anybody's going for anything cheeky. Pretty normal builds. Actually, where are these two guys at as far as the league points are concerned? Let me go ahead and take a quick look-see.
I was like, that'd be good if you could handle that, because I gotta
they are
observe.
They are both in the lower positions. We've got Rip Zeez with 8 points, going to be at position number 9, and 440 Gaming actually tailing it out with at rank number 10 with only 5. So this could potentially be a really good opportunity for them to go ahead and get themselves out of that bottom spot. But well, yeah, we'll have to take a look and see whether or not they can get into it.
Yeah.
So let's see. If it's a 3-2, then let's see. It has to be a 4-1 for 440 Gaming in order for them to tie it. So they have to.
Ooh.
Yeah, they have to win straight up.
Wow, outright.
Yeah. So they've got a pretty big mountain to climb as far as league points are concerned.
Yeah.
So far, it looks like what did we decide? It's Celiumn.
Yes. I really want to say like Celiumn and just and hang on, I'm getting urgent messages.
Oh my.
Okay. I need to mute. Oh god, I can't mute it.
What do you
All right.
Wait, what?
I'll take care of it during the break. I'm getting a couple notifications from TeamSpeak as lore types things to me about volume and whatnot, but we're fine now. That
awesome.
I think we got everything fixed.
Cool. So a couple links going to be sneaking into 440 Gaming's base. One of them will survive and actually get a full scout off on everything that's going on. Sees the speed going down, sees the queen, and apparently that queen decided it wanted to attack the hatchery a little bit.
You got to get that free hatchery damage in when you can.
Yeah, you know. Just decided it wasn't a good morning and wanted to take it out on the hatchery.
That's never a good thing. Never take out your emotions on your buildings. You won't get very far doing that kind of thing.
No, you will not get very far in life. So yeah, does look like Celiumn is going to be switching over to his roach tech. He's already got actually a pretty decent wall coming out here for 440 Gaming. Is going to get a full scout off. Know exactly what Celiumn is doing. It's going to scout actually that there are a fair number of lings already out for Celiumn.
26 currently out, 0 out right now for Gametime. That was definitely a tell because he went in and saw a whole bunch. Speed is going to be completing as he goes across, but Gametime's like, all right, you got lots of lings? Well, I got banelings, man, so bring it on.
Yeah, so speed will kick in here very, very shortly, just about now. And yeah, we'll have to see whether or not these lings can actually get by these banelings without too bad. Oh, there's one. Oh, this is looking so far so good. Two. Oh.
I get three.
So
yeah,
far, so
pretty good.
Yeah, not too shabby. Celiumn going to be walking straight into the main, going to get a full scout off. Will he see? Yes, he is going to see that Spire going down. The main queen will go down. And Baneling going to try and connect on a lot of these, but Zerglings are getting a lot of damage done. Looking so far, 9 workers killed in total. A couple more Banelings coming in, trying to get as much damage done as possible. And finally, the Lings will get cleaned up, but man, that was a lot of damage there, Danny.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, luckily didn't quite get the Spire, so that's still going to go up. But yeah, 9 workers currently operating at a 10-worker lead. That's some good stuff. And I mean, Gametime is just going to sit back, be content. You know, it's really weird because things are kind of off on the sides of the map versus the top there. So be careful. And Celium's going to lose a couple of queens. So Gametime, loving it right now.
Yeah. Yep, both players actually going to take that really, really quick third. The third base for Celiumn might get canceled here, as the Roaches still haven't actually.
No cancel. Yeah.
No cancel. Yeah, so Roaches just now popping out, going to get a handful of those lings killed. Granted, there are a lot of extra lings left over. Will be very, very nice once those once the muta count starts to get a little bit up higher. We're currently only one's being produced at this time. Granted, it doesn't appear that Gametime's really got the mineral income for it. He probably spent a majority of that getting those 4 overlords trying to get his supply back up.
Yes, he definitely has the gas, which is nice. So he will be absolutely streaming many of these coming across. And looks like Celiumn, I mean, he's going to have to start kind of getting some answers here relatively quickly. These Roaches are doing all right. I like Gametime's utilizing these links pretty well. Jumping around the map, doing a nice job.
Yep, third base going to try and get targeted once again. There are a handful of Roaches there trying to clean up the lings. Will it be enough, though? Yeah, just barely. So rest of the lings are going to go ahead and get cleaned up. And yeah, at this point, looks like Celiumn just needs to. Looks like his main's a little bit undefended. No Spore Crawlers yet for that.
Oh, and these Roaches are against some mutas and not having a good day. I mean, Celium's having to split them up just so they can kind of get some of the damage out. And I mean, these Roaches are really not going to get anything done. I'd be surprised if they get this queen. No, he didn't.
Just barely.
He didn't use the mutas that were there. He kind of just left some hanging. And Celiumn didn't clean up with the Roaches, so those will be cleaned up as well. So little bit rough of a start there. Celiumm now taking a supply deficit. But if we look, Gametime, now that drone lead isn't as big, but he's making a pretty good swell of them. And again, more Roaches being picked off by these muta.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I feel like even Celiumm had the advantage there for a good long while. Obviously, losing the third base wasn't too terribly helpful. But in general, I mean, yeah, in general, he just didn't capitalize on it. He stuck on his Roaches. He didn't focus on getting out his Hydralisks or anything. He is going to go ahead and try and switch over to Infestors. But I'm not sure if that's going to be quite the right choice. I mean, you know, it's kind of a high-risk, high-reward kind of unit for this situation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those, if you can hit the fungal growth, that dream on the muta and just hold all of them still as your queens can rip them apart. But on the flip side, if you don't, you're really hosed. So it's going to be tough. It's kind of one of those things, you have to hit the fungal growth. You can't really even use the infested Terrans just because...
Those Infestors.
So close.
Yeah, it's going to be... Ooh, might get a good fungal.
Oh, swing and a miss. Swing it. Oh, we got him. He got him. Oh, how many is he going to get? Can he?
One more.
Oh, there they go down.
Oh, the mutas. Well, or at least a good majority of them. Oh, my gosh.
That's what can happen.
Yep. High risk, high reward, as I mentioned.
That's a lot of queens he's got there as well.
That is. Okay, so he's going for like a Roach Queen
Yeah.
Infestor build? That's different.
10 queens out there, and he's trying to push creep, it looks like. These mutas now swinging around again. Don't know if they can get a lot done, but looks like the Spore Crawler is just a little bit too far to one side. But, yeah, these queens are slow but mighty as they waddle, if you will, across the map.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely getting in there, trying to get a little bit more done. And, yeah. I kind of feel like he needs to have like couple overlords to like lay down some goose so we can get the creep really rocking. Roaches are gonna actually run into this big army of roaches, which are actually already here for Gametime. Gametime's done a pretty good job switching over his tech. Ooh, a couple infestors almost got taken out. Oh, muta's coming in. Actually, a really nice fungal going down. Rest of the mutas are going to get picked off here, and that is going to put things very much in Celiumm's favor, as he is definitely going to be in a great position. He's kind of got the idea. Come on, get the creep going.
Yeah, he's trying to push it across here, and it looks like, I mean, Gametime just really has no real plans to spread the creep very far. Which might actually help him out, especially if your opponents are utilizing queens. You don't exactly want those to be very maneuverable, because right now they are just chugging across the map, have a couple infestors wrapped up in them. But thus far, this game is really stabilized from where we are at. Gametime has a pretty substantial drone lead, just with 9 more. Lots of roaches, and he no longer has any muta or anything on the map, so he is all roach. So Celiumm certainly has the army differential, because he just has those infestors, which are so helpful. We'll have to see how it goes.
I kind of feel like Gametime really needs to round out his composition. I mean, roaches are good, but I mean, versus like kind of the full roundness that Celiumm's unit composition have, it's gonna be really hard for him to take any engagement, because he has to avoid fungals, and he doesn't really have a backline, so he's got to get like optimal surface area from the get-go. You know, I mean, as we kind of move into the later stages of this game, I mean, looks like Gametime's going to be taking his 4th over in the lower left-hand corner, because he doesn't want to move out and start pushing that creep towards his opponent, because he knows his opponent's got all those queens. I mean, yeah, he's definitely playing more of a defensive postured game than he is anything else.
Yeah, and he's got, I believe, upgraded Overlord speed. Yes, he's going to creep highway. That's what he's working on right now. Now some hydras are coming in for Gametime, so that might shut that down just a little bit, as he's sending a lot of them across the map. Now kind of retreating, realize the number of hydras that are there. Ooh, and a nice fungal growth grab on the high ground there.
Yeah, looks like both of them are saying, neither of us want to use this avenue. But yeah, looks like Gametime, now that he's fully maxed out, going to start thinking about moving across the field. A lot of these overlords in good scouting position. He's got to be really careful not to take this really nice concave. Some good fungals going down. Celiumm taking a really good engagement. Fungals continue on doing the damage. Going to go ahead and throw down some infesting terror and see if those can add to the DPS. Will it be enough though? Roaches are pushing through, but I don't know, man.
Oh, that concave turned really bad for Celiumm there for a little bit. Now his infestor's out of energy. He kind of like has to win this, because he needs to save those infestors for sure. And it looks like just barely he will push through, as now he has enough, and those roaches popping out. Gametime trying to retreat, but Celiumm certainly, at least for the beginning of that, took it pretty well. I think he took a very, very good angle, and the hydras were in close, and the roaches kind of pushed them even closer. But right now, both players kind of desperate to rebuild and refigure out how exactly they're going to continue. I love what Celiumm's doing with this little mini creep highway he's got going.
Yeah, I mean, overall, in general, it was a very even trade.
Yeah, and I mean, right now it's basically going to be Gametime relying on those hydras, where Celiumm isn't relying on those infestors. One of the problems is the infestors simply just don't have that much energy even now. Just not enough time. Oh, and getting in really deep there. A couple one-shots going off. Both these players very, very tense, as I think I very much like Gametime's composition more now with the addition of those hydras. 38 roaches and 17 hydras against 56 roaches and 4 infestors. So the hydra DPS is just awesome, and those infestors don't have a lot of energy currently.
Granted, at the same time, there is still a handful of those queens mixed into that composition, so we'll have to see whether or not those injects are really going to be crucial in this engagement. Needs to be very careful not to lose any of those infestors right off the top. Obviously need all of those units to make this engagement work for him.
Yeah, he's getting to the point now where, that fungal growth, he's got about 1 each on each of those infestors, but he's a pretty good distance from having 2. So we'll see. It looks like he's going to try to pull him out of position, then attack on 2 fronts. Oh, this could work very well. Huge fungal growth going off. He's getting so many, and now he's chaining them together. Is this enough on the left flank? He is certainly pushing through, and Celiumn, with a great concave right now. Gametime is in a little bit of a rough spot, but those Hydras are paying dividends as he's desperately trying to transfuse all of the roaches. Is it going to be enough? It looks like Gametime just has too much here.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that engagement went that way. I mean, the concave was definitely in Celiumm's favor, but yeah, the unit composition just barely edging out. We can see as the supply is very, very close now. Definitely more so in Gametime's favor, but we will have to see whether or not he can capitalize it and get into this. Does need to be careful not to overextend too terribly much as these reinforcements come back in. He's just going to go ahead and push on in, and will it be enough, though? Only a handful of Hydras in the composition. A couple of Hydras are going to be popping out for Celiumn, but they're definitely not popping out in the right spot. And yes, with the rest of this army coming in, he is going to be able to push this back, but at the cost of a lot of drones.
Yeah, 6 of them going down in all of that. And, I guess 1 drone here is just hanging out with the army going, oh, hang on, you guys, I would also like to die. And eventually will. Oh, he turns it around just in time. Celiumn, you sneaky, sneaky man, you. So fast.
Yeah.
Going forward, what do you kind of do here? Neither player. Now Gametime is on Hive. Celiumm still just on Lair, so we'll have to see. Ooh, and good pickoffs there. A little bit of a good connection with the fungal growth. Not tremendous, but good enough. Celiumm right now experiencing kind of a hard supply block. And Gametime is pushing pretty far in here. If Celiumm wants an engagement, he can certainly force it.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I'm not sure if you can stop this as Celiumm. I mean, yes, the fungal growths are really good, and actually this is a pretty heavy Hydra force, so the fungals are going to do extra damage. Will it be enough, though? Roaches are trying to get in here and get as much damage done as possible, and the rest of this army is going to get pushed back. Where is the rest of his army?
I think it is kind of still in production. They were coming across the map, just didn't quite get there in time. Unfortunately for Celiumm, is it all of his infestors? Yes, all of his infestors have died. And so that's really, really rough for him, as you need those to kind of be storing up energy in between fights. But as he slowly kind of remakes them, it looks like Gametime's going to step out, try to take a 5th. Neither player has a 5th established. Celiumm now, this is his last remaining real option for a 5th base, unless he kind of took this one to the right. But it looks like he wants to stay in very, very close proximity to his opponent, so you will see this game ramp up in terms of aggressiveness as both of these players are now at each other's front door, and you can see these little skirmishes are going to be quite common.
Yeah, quite honestly, I think we're kind of at the point where we're just waiting for +3 to finish for Gametime. Gametime's definitely put himself into a really good position by getting up his lair tech and getting that upgrade rocking and rolling as quickly as he did. His opponent is still on lair tech. It doesn't look like he's planning on going to Hive anytime soon. So unless he wants to stay in this match, Celiumm really needs to start applying the pressure.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We'll have to see what tech choices besides just the upgrades are going to come through. So it looks like, a little bit of harassment. Oh, this hero roach. And, it looks like he drew him away and maybe going in for a big swing. Does Gametime see it? And yes, he does. So he is pulling back. Can there be any damage done?
If he can get in there and actually get the... I don't think he's going to get... might be able to pick off the Roach Warren. Just barely not. I was hoping he would get in there a little bit sooner and actually try and get a cancel on that +3, but unfortunately that time has passed and +3 is just now finished, so...
Yeah, both these players kind of all over the map, trying to kind of dance around each other's armies, but stay in decent position now. And now these infestors have a good amount. They're approaching where they'll have 2 fungal growths apiece, which will be very, very clutch. Oh, swinging a miss, just getting 1 roach. Definitely not what you're looking for. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think at this point, Gametimes just needs to picking off that drone. Not going to be taking a base anytime soon. Just trying to make sure that his opponent doesn't get full surround, and actually a really nice engagement here. All of the units attacking. Fungal Roach going down, getting a lot of damage done. Will it be enough though? Looks like the rest of the investors are going to go down, but with only Hydras left, looks like the Roaches are going to be pushing through. You know, even though this looks like it is in Gametime's favor, I mean, Celiumm's still holding on here. He's still got an army worth wrecking. Granted, we do have round 20 Roaches just now finishing up here for Gametime, so...
Yeah, it confused me because, you know, when he went in, losing a lot of Hydras here, a little rough. It was so confusing because, like, when Celiumn came in, he had both of his infestors in the front. He lost 2 of them before the engagement really even began, and that was 4 fungal growths that weren't going to happen. So all of a sudden he has those, and that would have gone even further in the other direction. And see, now he's going to pick off the Roach Warren, which is going to be a little rough. Did Gametime build another one? I thought that he might, just based on the fact that, you know, he might need it. And
I mean, at this point, I feel like Celiumn could just go straight into the main and get some really big damage done. I mean, a couple Roaches are going to be picking off at this 5th base. I mean, he's stopped all mining production at that base. And, yeah, Celiumm's just going to walk out of the base pretty much unscathed.
Yeah, great maneuver there. So now it looks like Gametime is switching over to Lings, I think, to try to just get enough army up. I'm not sure. This is one of the things. It's so difficult to try to figure out what supply you have in relation to your opponent. These two are basically identical. Gametime waiting for some more Overlords to pop before he can really kind of push ahead. Now both of them the capacity to max out. But yeah, this has been very back and forth, and Gametime looks like maybe he wants to push, and Celiumm's army's kind of out of position here. It's going to be a little rough for him if he can swing in very quickly. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, looks like he's going to try and get in straight into the main, but he's not going to quite get it. Very nice positioning here for Gametime. Will it be enough, though? He's, with the rest of Celiumm's army getting in here, it looks like he just wants to pick off the hatchery and get out. I don't know if that really did anything. I mean, yeah, he got the hatchery, which is going to minimize production. Ooh, but we got a pretty decent surround here. Gametime just continuing on putting on the pressure. Will it be enough, though? More Hydras getting into the mix, and they are still very even with every engagement.
Yeah, it goes back and forth in one direction or another, but never totally definitive. And I mean, yeah, Gametime's got a big swell of units popping out. If Celiumn takes it right here, he might lose it a little bit, but he smartly pulls back just a little bit. And I love what Gametime did there. He held at the bottom of the ramp for just enough time to maintain that concave, and then as soon as he started to lose it, he got out because he knew his army was smaller. That's a brilliant move to try to get yourself back in. He did more damage with a smaller army and then retreated to minimize the damage he took. Great stuff. And it looks like level 3 carapace is on the way for Gametime, so trying to get that 2 upgrade advantage as opposed to just 1. And like I said, these armies are just going to be in the middle posturing so often.
I'm really surprised that Celiumn has actually been able to hold on even with the upgrade disadvantage. Ooh, nice concave coming down here. Nice, good little fungal growth. Going to pick off a lot of those units. And yeah, looks like Celiumn going to be pushing through once again. But yeah, I mean, with the upgrade disadvantage, you would think that Celiumm's supply would start to drop a little bit more in retrospect to Gametime. But it really hasn't. He's just been taking really good fights, getting all the concaves he needs. There's got to be a point where Celiumm has to say, okay, time to get my hive. I mean, we're 33 minutes into the game. Hive has not been started, and yep, Celiumm's just saying, you know what? I've had enough fun with this. I'm going to come in here and we're going to take care of business.
Oh, and Gametime's going, all right, base trade. That's fine. I don't know how this ends, Chaos.
Yeah. Basically, let's see. From a spread out perspective, obviously I would say that Celiumn is definitely getting a lot more useful buildings right now.
Certainly.
So now that all the hive and basically all the tech is gone, it's gonna boil down to all this other stuff. Come on, move your units. Need to make this more okay. So +3 carapace has been denied. I don't know. Where do you see this going?
I have no idea. I wish I could tell you flat out, but it's just not a thing. All these drones for Celiumn are going down. I was hoping that he would save some and just get them down with your army, just so you can throw up an extractor. I mean, both these players have so much money. They are fine in that respect, but Celiumn actually has the ability to make a couple more units. If he has Hydras, he can make Hydras, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think Celium's actually done it. I mean, he's effectively minimized. He just has to take one really decent engagement where he kills a good chunk of his opponent's army. Yeah, because this base is pretty much dead.
Yeah, I mean, oh, God, that's just so many units. And, oh, this is a tough spot for Gametime, but he wants to take it. He's got an Infestor in the back. Oh, Fungal Growth, kind of a swing and a miss there. Not a lot of damage done. It's about 4 roaches, but yeah, this is the stuff because Celiumn can remake some army, currently making 7 Hydras. Gametime is just stuck, so every loss is permanent, and he's just not quite able to do it. Oh, and it looks like, maybe a little bit more. You can see that supply for Celiumn is just 174 and hanging, and Gametime is just whittling down ever so much. Oh, and he goes in. Oh, a nice Fungal Growth right in the middle on all those Hydras, and this should be the definitive engagement in this game. What will happen? Gametime says, no, this isn't good for me. Oh, I need to retreat. And I think Celiumn is pushing through, and I believe that Celiumn has done it. Grunts pulled. GG for 440.